Well, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite, written Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, Apple Bites, where we take a bite out of the apple and share it with you. Yeah, folks, it is our road to Terrificon. And this weekend we will be at Terrificon having fun, checking out all the cool stuff, and making sure that you guys get all the Apple bits.
The Apple bits and bobs.
Oh my God, folks! It has been a busy weekend. We've been busy as heck. Every single one of us, actually. I know you two are getting ready for Terrificon, so I know you guys have been busy. Hey, look, John, what's up?
Oh, there's
who was on last week talking all about his book.
Yep, which successfully funded, gave us all a heart attack because, of course, it funded in like the last
minute, of course.
Yeah, it was like the last couple of hours.
The last couple of minutes.
I hate all on the edge of our seats, always.
It's like, oh, why'd you die of a heart attack? Well, you know.
It's like his whole head is just gray. It's like, John, are you like 80 years old now? It's just Kickstarter stress.
Me and Ralph were at Geek Out of Staten Island. Go see. And Camilla too. Camilla was there.
Yeah, she actually was able to make herself over there. I was surprised. Yeah, it was a fun weekend at Geek Out of Staten Island. We had a blast. It's in Snug Harbor, so it's already a beautiful location, and it's outside. Yeah. And dude, this thing has so much thing happening, and so many people on stage doing things. You know, even the Gata Negra was there doing her rapping thing. You know, Gata is amazing.
Saw a fan film, Sky Hoshi. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. The director was there and the actors, and they might be on the show soon. So it was a good time.
Yeah, it was funny because Tony liked it and goes, "Hey, Ralph, let's go talk to them." I'm like, "Okay, sure, let's go."
Yeah, they were good. They had a lot of energy. So, yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I can't wait to have them on the show and talk about it.
Yeah,
it's like an anime, but it's not an anime.
Go on.
Yeah. It's about the movie's about, what do you call it? The movie's about a girl. It's like a reverse isekai. A girl comes out of the anime instead of someone going into the anime or into the world. she comes out of the anime, so it's like, you know, but she comes, but because she came out of the anime, she disappears from all merchandise. Like she's gone from posters, manga, everywhere.
Oh my goodness!
Like everybody's like, yo, they think that the company did. They're like, yo, how did you get this character to disappear from my shirt? And they're like, oh, we don't know. Like they're like, people are like, this is the greatest marketing scheme ever. Like, wow. So they have to try to get her back into the anime. It was a fun movie. It's a fun movie.
That sounds like
they've done part of it at Anime NYC. So they were just from last year. So they were like walking around Anime NYC, and yeah, it was a fun movie.
Like Enchanted, the Disney movie Enchanted. You guys ever watch that?
Yep.
It's like anime Enchanted.
Yeah, exactly what an anime Enchanted.
A story about somebody who comes out of like an RPG and they're like in the real world trying to just open everyone's doors and go inside. Because that's what you do in an RPG, right?
See, now you're giving me an idea.
Good. I'm glad.
And Sky Hoshi's
do something with
love story too. You know, of course it is. It's a love, but it's a love story also. So it's really cute. My goodness. Yeah.
I want to say, John, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
What we do, we scream at people until they back things.
Give them money.
What are you waiting for?
Oh man. So Herman, why don't we start with you? Tell the people all the good stuff. Give them the spiel. Go for it.
Certainly. So I'm Herman from It's Getting Dicey. We sell premium dice related items, and we have our lovely dog Jedi who travels along with us to all the conventions across the East Coast, primarily Northeast. We just came from Wicked Comic-Con, which was a great little event there in the Westin, right next to the Boston Convention Center in downtown Boston. And of course, we're going to Terrificon this weekend. Definitely check us out on itsgettingdicey.com and our socials. But yeah, we just love dice and we love interacting with people and going to conventions.
I gotta say, man, I don't know how you guys do it. I know we've had this discussion before, but I really don't know how you guys keep on top of all this stuff. And what I like about you guys is that you actually do the work for people. You find all those good things that are out there, and then you put them in one place so you can buy it.
Yeah, and we've added recently some dog toys, as you see on screen here, with Jedi showing them off right behind him. Those are all dog and cat toys.
Such self-restraint for him not to just rip
Exactly.
them off the walls and just destroy them.
He's taken one or two before, but yeah, he's a pretty good boy.
Oh.
I'm sure he'll visit us later when he walks around.
Also great for marketing, because if anybody has any animal at a table, I immediately have to like stop and be like, "Can I pet the dog?"
Mhm.
And
He's
you
our service
also-
animal, but he's dual trained. So anytime we see you, come on over. You can pet Jedi.
Excellent.
Jedi is cute as a button,
Mm.
and he gets a lot of attention.
As he should.
I think he's more famous than us, but it's just easy to do. But still,
When that stuff that you sent me, I saw that you also have cat toys.
that's right. So we have cat toys, a scimitar, which a cat running around with that thing is just hilarious. Little
Okay,
daggers
you have
sticking
my
in the mouth.
attention.
We have a D4 and we have a D20, all full of catnip. It's right behind Jedi's head there in that video. But I think I sent you a picture there, Ralph. Do you have that?
I think it's on my personal Instagram account, so you might have to. Do you have it on your computer?
I can bring that up on our
Okay,
website,
there you
most
go.
certainly. Just give me a second here.
Yeah, because I realized that when I'm on the computer, the account that's on there is my personal account.
I'm just gonna keep watching the dog meanwhile.
Oh yeah,
I'm
talk to
desperate.
you, but
Nothing wrong with that.
he is so cute, man. I
You
can't
sell- Oh, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
go for it.
Do you sell anything for cats? Because I'm a cat lady. Do you sell like little cat stuff?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now is cat dagger and cat D4 and
Oh.
a cat D20.
Yeah, look, it's right there. Look, I can see it.
Was that what that is? 'Cause I thought you were talking about like mystical stuff. I didn't think you were talking about like actual cats.
Oh, this is a pretty good video here from Mid Hudson.
I just tried to share my screen for the catnip dagger. So
Here it
that's
is.
actually the dagger.
Oh, I want it.
Okay.
Oh.
I need to.
And we've gotten some pictures from some of our fans who have actually had their cats carry this guy around, which is hilarious. And then besides that, we have all these other dog toys here.
It's a mimic.
And then the catnip D4.
Ooh.
Oh my God, look at it.
Some good stuff there too.
Dude.
Love it. Love
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
Where are you picking up all this stuff?
Hey, we pick up from distributors and artists. We partner with a lot of people. In fact, some of the trays that you see there, one of the artists that does stuff for us, False Mind Studios, will actually be at our table for Terrificon, helping show some of his stuff off. So one of the trays that I showed in a picture, so I'll bring that up as well, is some of his art, and he'll be right at the table able to sign stuff and such as well.
I like that. I like the fact that you're bringing one of the artists with you. It's also a good way to show off that you got all these people that you're collabing with.
Yeah, supporting like local talent and whatnot is very cool.
I love the trays. That's what I'm waiting for that Kickstarter to go.
The Kickstarter, when we launch it, it'll have a lot more options and they'll be a little bit more versatile. That's all I can really say for now. But
yeah, I love the fact that you can personalize your dice tray because who doesn't want a personalized dice tray?
I just want a dice tray that says please, 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 please. Because I say that anyway.
Well, we have happened. This is one of Michael Anderson's work, False Man Studios. So he'll be at the table, and we'll have this guy there. And then we have it in a few different colors that we can get. I don't have one that says please, 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 but I do have one of Jedi. I'll have to show off real quick.
Oh,
that is Jedi as a Jedi. That's another artist that we got that from.
I love
He won't
that.
be at the table, but the tray will be there.
That's great. Jedi as a Jedi.
The little lightsaber. That's cute.
That is too cute. I gotta say though, well, I don't know. It just feels like the question still needs to be asked. Like, how do you find all this stuff? What's the process?
So, first and foremost, we're gamers.
Right.
We play a lot of games. We go to all these conventions. We see a lot of different stuff that other people are doing. And then we look ourselves, not only through our distributors and what else new they have to offer, but then we partner with artists, because when we collaborate, everybody wins.
Exactly.
So we collaborate with different art for the trays. A lot of that stuff was done either by my wife, Michael Anderson, Ren the Warrior, Luke Beatrice is his name. And then we just keep pulling it together. We keep innovating, trying new ideas. I know one of the things that you fell in love with, Ralph, when we were first starting, is we had these little spell bottles.
Oh, I love the spell bottles. I got mine here.
So we kind of discontinued them because they were made of glass and it was a little bit of a problem with transporting and a few other things. But we have a generation 2 of that coming out where I have these plastic test tubes.
Nice.
That'll also be the spells. And we probably won't have them ready for Terrificon, but I just got them in. We're looking probably about a month away, and I'll have Fireball, I'll have Healing Word, I'll have pretty much any spell you can think of, D&D. I'll have dice for it, specific. And then anybody can walk up to the table and be like, hey, I need a lightning bolt. No problem. We'll get you eight blue D6 in a test tube vial that says lightning bolt, get you all settled. Because you know as well as I do, like when you get some of those big spells that require a lot of dice, or if you're a thief and you need to do, or rogue, excuse me, as the current nomenclature is, a rogue, and you have sneak attack damage, well, that's a ton of D6s. If you have just a standard set, you're not going to be able to roll it very easily. So we're going to have a vial that's for sneak attack.
I love it. I love it. And I think it's also an easy way to understand the spell better, because now you're sectioning off the spell. So because I know sometimes what happens is that you got to go looking for the spell while you're at the campaign and trying to figure out how you can use it or not. But if you have it handy, it becomes so much easier to use. Yeah,
that idea of ease at the table as well as just stuff that looks nice. Right?
Yeah, because then you can you imagine having all of these test tube things around you and being a wizard and just lightning bolt, fireball.
Especially if you're playing like an artificer, that gets you even more in the mood. Like I'm an artificer and I throw out lightning bolt, and it's open up a test tube and a lightning bolt comes out of it. Very thematic. I like this.
Are you making the dice be aesthetically pleasing to the spell?
So we've got. I took a list of all of the 5th edition spells, not the updated versions yet, but the 5th edition spells, and got dice that was appropriate colors for the spells, or at least within reason.
Love it.
So like force is typically going to be like a purple, and then like lightning or lightning damage would be like the blue, as well as cold damage be a blue. So I have things that are similar. Yeah.
I like it because that just adds to it, and as a DM, these are the gifts you want to give to your players, especially if that's a spell they use, or can you imagine because you were also doing that too with scrolls and stuff like that, and if it adds to it, if you as a DM you're doing the story and you go, here's this scroll with the spell. And
oh my goodness.
Oh, see?
Yeah, and then it's like they use the scroll and then you're like, give me that back. And then you have to wait for them to get another scroll.
You just got to be a nice DM and give it right back to them pretty soon.
Oh, man.
You can either get the scroll back or...
Hey, yeah, it's an isekai.
Japan's saying Anime Enchanted is an isekai. And Man of the Meeple says, good evening from the Superhero Ice Cream Club.
That sounds like a great club.
It does.
But is it an ice cream club only for superheroes, or is it superheroes giving ice cream to non-superheroes?
I'm hoping for the latter.
I am
Yeah.
too. Otherwise, I'll be really sad.
Must be a very safe city.
You know what? If everybody had ice cream, there would be no supervillains.
Oh, yeah.
The
Should I
supervillains
run the
need ice
bank
cream.
or should I eat some ice cream? No, I'll go eat some ice cream.
Oh, you know what? There'll be that one lactose intolerant person that turns into a supervillain.
Yeah.
We'll get them some gelato.
Exactly.
Or
Here we
like
go.
soy ice cream.
Superheroes and villains enjoying ice cream.
All right.
World peace.
Peace with ice. I mean, ice with peace. Oh man! And are you going to be showcasing anything new at the at Terrificon?
So yeah, we'll have some more. We had one Spider-Verse dice, or what we called Spider-Verse dice before.
Oh, you sent me those
and we have
pictures.
some more colors of that
Mhm.
one, which we think are pretty awesome.
Oh, the Gwen one was the Gwen one looked really interesting. I love the pink on that one.
We also have the attack dice. Bring up the.
Yeah, he had this Gwenverse dice that looked. It was a nice color of pink. And then right away, I was like, I know who I can give this to.
I like
So
pink.
these are some of the ones we'll have at Terrificon. The attack dice, which have different
Oh, those
classes
are
on
fancy.
each
Wow.
one. Mm-hmm. See the axes here. Yeah.
I love that
And
they're
we have
fancy
that.
but still easy to read, because I've seen some fancy dice where I'm
Oh,
like, if
yeah.
I roll that, I'm gonna
Mhm.
have to be like, this close to the dice to figure out what it actually is.
We get that all the time about people like, oh, it's too beautiful, I can't read it.
Yep.
Like, if you're the DM, you don't need to read it all the time. Sometimes you gotta fudge it anyway.
This is true.
But these are the Spider-Verse Gwen
Oh my
dice,
God,
the
look at
pink
that.
ones.
Those
Beautiful.
are pretty.
Yeah.
And then some Druid dice that we'll have as well. These are all going to be brand new on the table for Terrificon.
Dude, beautiful.
They're so fancy.
See, this is why I go to the conventions
This
and I
one
run
I
into
love
these
too.
guys. Oh my God, look at this.
So it's
I
a
can do
Dragon
that.
Slayer. There's a guy
can
fighting
definitely
a
see
dragon
that.
in all of them.
Yeah.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
That is adorable.
Yeah. Every time I see it's getting dicey, I'm like, I'm going to be poor. And they were trying to seduce Nat one time because he wanted one of those gem dice, and he was like, it's a lot of money.
Ooh.
And these are the Miles Morales version.
Woo!
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Spider dice.
And some nice blood splatter medals.
Mm.
A little more horror themed, but
We
if
started
you're playing
putting the
Curse
dice
of
up.
Strahd,
Engage showed
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Hello, friend.
That is amazing. I've seen the splatter before, and I haven't seen it look like this though.
Also fun for a barbarian, I guess.
Oh, definitely.
and these are metal too. So normally the blood splatter dice are typically on plastic.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, so those have like a good weight to them too, then.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So you can splatter somebody in two ways.
Yeah, also doubles as a weapon in real life.
Exactly.
I like
That's
it.
what we say the D100s are, the metal D100s. So we say
Those are
double
a
as bludgeoning weapons.
Yep.
Yep.
I can
Those
see
are
that.
a weapon, man. Every time I
What
pick one
was
up,
that Conan story where like there's a wizard across the room and he picks up a chair and throws it at him, and the wizard's brain spills out on the floor. I'm like, why hasn't anybody made this? This is awesome. Like, yeah.
That's exactly what would happen, though.
Yeah.
But you know what it is, wizards do have other things they can do, and that chair trick will not work.
Well, they would see.
Wizard, that
Well,
chair trick is just gonna piss the wizard off.
I think it was the last thing he would have thought of, that he just would just throw a chair. Oh man.
Oh man. I'm telling you, this is gonna be a great Terrificon, and it looks like Ava's been helping people out over here. Look, Ava did a card for me.
I did.
Awesome.
And it was so fun. I said I was gonna do a Wonder Woman, and then I set him as a Tana. So that was awesome. You think Karen, that's awesome, but no,
I like Santana, so I can't say anything.
she's my favorite. And I was like, he was like, said Wonder Woman, I was because I could choose the character, and I made as a Zatanna. I was like, oh, I meant that one. But no, it was a really fun project. It was really interesting. And you kind of like pass the torch around to the other artists and stuff. So I got chosen by a different artist, and then I passed the torch, and it's really cool. It's a fun idea. It was great.
You're talking my language because I love those challenges. I love doing those too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I'm up to 40 artists commissioned. Damn.
Sweet.
Wow.
Nice.
That's a lot of ice cream.
That is a lot of ice cream. So, Ava, go ahead. Tell the people all the good stuff. Give them the spiel.
Oh my gosh. Well, hi. I'm Ava Schrager, comic book artist, 2D animator, illustrator, a lot of things, cat lover, stuff like that. And yeah, no, this is all my work. You can find me on Instagram at Ava Schrager. And yeah, right now, I'm mostly working on, preparing for the convention, but I've been juggling 3 things right now. One being conventions and merchandise. The second being doing a bunch of commissions for voice actors and actresses. So this one actually on the screen right now was done. I did this for Reagan Catherine. And this is the character she voices from a game called Eternal Return. I think it was Eternal Return. What was it called? Return. That's what it was called. But it's really fun to do it.
Yeah, you got it right here. Eternal Return. You got it right. You got it right. Yeah.
Because my brain kept like, is it return or rerun? Oh my god. Anyway, but yeah, no, I did that for her, and that was just such an honor and a privilege to do that for a cosplayer, a voice actress, and someone who could share my art. So that was really special. So I'm still on that voice actor grind. Third thing being my book. I've actually been doing that like constantly. I probably am doing it like at this point in time at least like 12 to 14 hours a day on the book. So I'm tired. But yeah, I've been doing that on the side. Oh my god, look at who that is. He's special.
I love the design of this character.
Thank you. Actually, would you mind going to the one that says Reign of Shadows first? We'll go to that one second.
Let's see.
But there he is. Look at that special man. So I talked a little bit about it on the last podcast. But this is my comic book that a manga-inspired comic book. It's going to be like the size of a manga, but it's going to be comic book American style. Super D&D inspired. It's just my creation that I'm making. It's going to be published in maybe like 2 to 3 years-ish. I'm like the only one working on it besides, my translators in other languages and I'm not lettering. You know me. I'm not doing that. No thanks. I don't know what boom looks like. Like that's not my job. But, like girl, no. But yeah, no. This is the main character. There's 3 of them. I have 3 concepts, but this is like the main character that we follow the most. He is an illogical wizard named Reign of Shadows. And something is wrong with him. Whenever
most wizards, something's wrong with them.
Exactly. But sadly, Rain has something going on. Every time he tries to do magic, he turns into Spencer Shea from iCarly, where he makes everything either explode or catch on fire.
I love that.
I love the anime style. Thank you so much. It's giving a very specific anime that I'm not going to mention, but I did that on purpose because marketing.
I gotta say, I can tell it's an anime style, but it doesn't look like anything else I've seen. So,
Mm-hmm.
That's
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome to zoom in on it if you want. I mean, there's quite a lot of I think detail in his face, and you know he's got idiot strings on his glasses. I call them the idiot strings. Yes, Black Butler. You know, Jan Tabos is like my favorite artist of all time. So I really wanted to create my style and really replicate her style because it's just a gorgeous style. I literally have one of her books right here.
If you didn't mention it, I wouldn't have thought of Black Butler because it's very distinct. Yeah.
See, that's what I was telling you.
Yeah, your own style.
It has the vibe, but not like a direct copy sort of thing.
Right.
That's the goal. That's the goal. Because she, you know, Yana Taboso is like, again, my favorite artist ever. I mean, she is just astronomically brilliant when it comes to fight scenes or just faces, dramatic and just attractive anime faces is really something that she's really good at. So I really respect that. And I really wanted to do her style and create something new out of it. You know I said last time on the show, one of my biggest inspirations for this book was Conker's Bad Fur Day. And Conker's Bad Fur Day is all about really funny references. All the time, everywhere.
I love Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah. So Conker's Bad Fur Day has inspired a lot of the pop culture references. You know, for example, Ava, what's the setting? When does this take place? When? Oh, by the way, the book's called The Heroic Losers. When does The Heroic Losers take place? And I would say it takes place somewhere in between medieval times and the wildfires of 2019 Australia. So, you know, it's a comedy, romance, fantasy. So it's not serious at all. It's really funny. And I mean, if you like Conker's Bad Fur Day, you'll like this. If you like D&D, you'll like this. If you like Black Butler, you'll like this. But yeah, no. So this is just Rain, and we get to just really see his struggles. He's definitely the most complicated character in the series. But yeah, that's him, my little wizard man.
I can feel the love you have for the character. That's always good to see.
That's important because that means that like you're putting everything into it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's really funny because I wasn't expecting to really like these characters as much as I have. And, you know, it originally was supposed to be pretty short. And I just grew to just absolutely love the trio dynamic between these characters and the outfit. Like that, their outfits are cool. They're cool. And they complement each other, you know. So yeah, no, that's cool. I hope that people love them as much as I do. I'm gonna cry when I see the first cosplayer.
So now that I'm looking at this, I have to ask though. Now that I'm looking at this, are you starting to get D&D commissions? Because I think anybody would like to see their character that they're playing done like this.
I mean
that would be cool.
Yeah,
absolutely. I have not. Well, have I?
Yeah. After the show, maybe. I don't know. Well, you'll see.
No, I have. I totally forgot about it. I actually did one about maybe a month ago. I just can't remember because this is all I work on is like but no, I did do one. I would have to email you an image of it, but this person wanted the character in, like, apparently they said some kind of meme in their session, and they like put the character in the meme, and they wanted me to do that, and I had so much fun doing it. I knew nothing. She sent me like a paragraph of like how much she loved this character and how funny it was, and I was like, this is so cool. And I'm super grateful that I was able to, you know, bring that meme to life for her and draw that for her. Really was special that she trusted me to do that. And I think it ended up great. So that's awesome. She never got back with me, so I hope she doesn't hate it.
Because I can definitely see you getting hit up by the D&D guys after seeing this. Gage already is like, she needs to get a Godslayer commission. So, you know,
my
I think he caught his attention.
That's so cool. I don't know what that is, but it sounds really cool.
That's his original comic series.
That's his original comic series.
Oh my god, that's so awesome. Well, that would be, I think, even more of an honor to do something for somebody else's series. I think, honestly, that's like the highest privilege someone could give me. But I'm so sorry. If you actually want to go to the other concept art of the night.
I gotta say, I like
There
this
we
one
go.
the best, so that's why I started with it.
I'm glad you like him. This is the love interest. This is Aaron Lionheart, the boner-inducing knight. He's fabulous. He's got that long beach hair, and so he kind of has a similar problem. He's a clumsy knight. So every time Aaron, tries to do something heroic and be a knight, he trips on a rock. And it's just the same rock over and over and over again. I don't know why, but we don't really talk about it.
This is great. Yeah.
I need you to make an attack roll. 1. Oh, great.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
All of them.
Rob, that reminds me of your corgi that we can't get rid of.
Yeah, the corgi. He keeps surviving.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did a great job with the armor. I love what you designed here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it took so much research to do him. He was definitely the hardest. I felt like for Rain and the Bard, I had such a clear vision. Dan was inspired by that one episode of SpongeBob, which is the next character I'll go over in a second, but after I'm done explaining Aaron. But he was inspired by that one episode of SpongeBob when they're like in medieval times and like Squidward's the jester.
Oh no.
He was inspired by the Squidward jester from SpongeBob. So, that's awesome. But back to this guy. Yeah, no, he's a clumsy knight. And basically the whole point of this book, even though I can't reveal too much of the plot yet, the whole point of this book is that they are truly heroic losers, as the title says. They might suck at their professions, but somehow, weirdly enough, it all works out when it shouldn't. Maybe it's because of a prophecy. It is.
I like how she throws that in there. Maybe it's because of a prophecy. I don't know.
Love it.
But yeah,
I really like the fact that the wizard isn't good at wizarding and the knight isn't good at knighting.
yeah, and then you have Dan, who's just there. I thought it would be add to the humor and add to the comedy if I had I had a wizard that was named Rain of Shadows, who was the first one I created, and then soon after that I created Aaron Lionheart, and then Dan. It's so funny. If you look at his socks, I didn't render them because I forgot, and I don't think I'm ever going to do them. Why do it? I don't know. They're just brown.
They're just brown socks.
They look like
fine.
socks, so.
Yeah.
Oh, they unrendered brown. I should just leave them like that in the whole comic. Just unrendered.
Nobody ever talks about it.
So.
Socks are just not rendered throughout the entire book series. But yeah. I'm super excited to announce more of it, and their dynamic, especially between Rain and Aaron, and what happened to them, because it's not good. So yeah, I think a wizard and a knight relationship would be kind of cool. I think we always see that typical damsel in distress of the prince getting with the princess or whatever, but what about the side characters?
I think that life. What about the side characters?
Exactly.
Right? What about the wizards? What's up with that? So I thought it would be really cool to do a wizard main character and kind of put everyone on the side like that. But anyway, that's Aaron Lionheart. Isn't he swell? He's great.
That shampoo commercial quality hair.
Right? He could totally be in L'Oreal.
He definitely does,
He should be hired.
Worth it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, yeah. Oh boy, look at this mistake. Okay, so this is Dan. He is a glitter guzzling drag queen bard. And I mean, he's there just because the prophecy says so. Really. So that's awesome. Yeah, no. And yeah, again, he was inspired by the jester from SpongeBob, the Squidward thing. He's really there to just kind of cause trouble for the gang. He doesn't really do much.
He looks like a troublemaker.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he definitely carries his glittery stilettos around as well as his emergency cocaine. So
Everyone has that emergency. Also, I love the gills. They're
always
great.
prepared.
That's funny.
I love the
But yeah,
cutout on this chest in the heart shape. That's a nice touch.
Definitely. I gotta say,
Ew.
the outfit is fantastic as well.
Thank you so much. Yeah, he's got like his little nip showing. I do have to edit the anatomy a little bit on his chest. But other than that, like this is like the official like style from or whatever. But yeah, no, cool. That's great. Woohoo! Yeah. So it's a pocket cocaine. Yeah. Yeah. Although Dan doesn't really have pockets, I think he might just stuff them in his puffy sleeves.
You ever watch Metal Apocalypse? He does cocaine.
Yeah, yeah. But he definitely plays a big part of comedic relief. And he's also extremely short. The other two characters are like 5'2", or sorry, no, 5. Oh my gosh, that's like my height. Ooh, no, they're like 6'2". This little man.
As soon as I saw the art, I got the feeling that this guy was shorter than the other two.
I think the heels give it away. Like short characters in heels are a mood.
Yeah, yeah. He definitely. He's a short king. I got to represent, and I think every comic book I'm gonna do, there's gonna be a main character that's a ginger. I'm a ginger, and we need more ginger rep. So yeah, that's. Sorry. Go ahead.
The tricksters are usually short, so I noticed.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, he's almost like a mix of like a bard and a rogue, but also like part barbarian ish. Just because of his personality. Is he really there to cause trouble? Yeah. Is he really there to like waste your time? Absolutely.
That's just funny.
Yeah, no. If anyone has any questions, yeah, I'm like running out of things to talk about it because I was not prepared to talk about it.
I gotta say, it doesn't sound like you're running out of things to talk about. I think you're trying not to say certain things.
Yeah, I'm trying not to spoil the
You're like, is this gonna happen? Yes, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I can tell you, like, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. Okay, I ask a question, so I don't have
but yes.
Yeah.
Is it gonna happen, or is he that thing? You'll have to wait to find out. But no,
exactly.
Yeah.
That sucks. It's better to know everything ahead of time.
J-Pan is like, my main is like 5'7", so short characters.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially when it comes to the men, you gotta represent. But I am having a few people read it right now for the first time. I created the Heroic Losers. The feedback was overwhelmingly positive. Like, I was not expecting really as much love as I gotten from the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
I asked for critiques and I got none. They basically said that if I gave you a critique, it would like mess something up. So that is like an ultimate like compliment for me.
It's an ultimate compliment because it's almost like I can see that this is an issue here, but if you fix it, it kind of messes up the story.
Exactly. You just gotta wait for book 2, I guess. Exactly. Which I'm writing right now, which is fabulous. But there will be 5 books in total. And excuse me. Yeah, it's definitely difficult to talk about it without the plot being kind of revealed. But I mean, just think your typical damsel in distress story, but like stupid.
Great concept.
I love
You
the
know,
concept.
yeah, totally. Yeah,
I'm in for any type of campaign that looks like all the campaigns that we tend to play with.
If you add like but stupid to anything, like I'm there. It's like superheroes but stupid, like
Exactly.
D&D but stupid. Like I love it.
that's exactly.
I'm not sure how that's different than any other D&D game I've ever been a part of.
See, that's what
Yeah,
I just said.
Always chaos.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
the fun is when people roll one.
It's like everyone thinks
that's
they're
when
going to
you
be
get the
like
best
Lord of
thing.
the Rings, and then it's just like, no, it's more like Monty Python.
Yes, it is.
It's almost like these characters roll ones. That's all they roll. Only, but it weirdly works out somehow because of the prophecy.
I like that because that's using that prophecy storyline and going, what's the prophecy?
we don't know yet, but basically, instead of the mightiest warriors of all the land going out to save the prince, it is instead the three heroic losers. And really, as funny, I think. Speaking of the reviews, that's what we're talking about. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Speaking of what they were talking about, they said like that. Oh, sorry if I lose my train of thought. I have amnesia, so if I like forget something, I'm
Don't worry
blaming
about
my
it. We all
amnesia.
have it.
It's really hard to live with. I always
I've done
have
it
to
before
write.
where in the middle of a conversation, I'll forget exactly what I'm trying to get.
You ever like go into the aisle of the grocery store? You just are like, why am I here?
Yeah.
What did I need?
Lost child.
All the time.
That's me opening
That's
the
what I was
fridge. I'm
gonna
like,
say.
what was I looking for?
I wanted something
Right?
to eat, I think.
Oh my god, that's my whole life. So as funny as this series is and how comedic it is, it really instows some pretty hardcore values and really my values that I'm pushing in this book. One of the core values is self-worth. And we get to see that in like the first chapter right off the gate is what is the self-worth of yourself and human life. So it actually starts out really serious with, you know, the funny jokes and stuff all around. But, you know, I really wanted to make a series that, because this is an 18+ series, obviously. So I really wanted to touch on some adult topics that are very complicated.
Yeah.
Self-image. How do you view yourself? You know, that is really represented through Reign of Shadows, the Wizard, right? A lot of things that men struggle with. I really wanted to highlight in this book, you know, and that's one of the feedback I got from both of the men who read this story. They both told me that they could relate to either Rain or Aaron from being a man in society, just in a different way. So I really, it's very validating to hear that even as a woman, I'm able to write a story that men can really relate to. Because I think men are very forgotten in society, sadly, a lot of the time. So I think this is truly a story that anyone can enjoy. And I think this is a story that will touch a lot of people, especially with topics like body image and self-worth. One of the biggest lessons I really want to reach my viewers with this book is gratitude, you know, being grateful, you know, especially for stuff like food, water, anything, but especially your body, because I'm sure all of us here are grateful that we can walk, we can talk, we can run, right? We can, I'm sure, hopefully we all can swim. We can move our bodies. And that's just a really important element inside this book, is to just be grateful, because you don't know how good you have it until it's gone.
It's one of the things that as somebody who's getting older, or all of us getting older, you start to see as time progresses, because, you know, after a while, certain things that you were able to do easily before, all of a sudden becomes like questionable.
Yeah.
So, we need to actually remember that at any time of life, we might have it better than we will have it later.
Yeah, that's actually something that happens in the book. Like, quite literally, that's something that happens, you know, working really, really hard for something. and it doesn't work out. It could happen in the future, but it's probably not gonna, you know. Or it does, you never know. But that's one thing, is how do we handle these situations? You know, as adults, how do we handle these situations when something goes horribly wrong? Oh my God, I made a hamster explode. What do I do?
Oh, no.
Right? Spoiler. What do I do? The reason why they cost like 90 cents, people. Okay, you're probably doing the poor thing a favor. But
sometimes when one door closes for you, there's actually four more doors or more than that open. So you have to like just be alert and just try to be in the moment. Yeah, that's really what it is. But if you just sit there and wallow like, oh, I lost this job, or oh, this and that happened, or this relationship ended, you just stay there and wallow like, no, it's one door closing and it's a whole bunch of other doors opening, and you have to try to look at it that way,
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what this series is. I mean, do these losers have a choice? Not really, but still, regardless, it's the message, right? Yeah. This is for adults. And this is specifically made to relate to as many people as I can. And I think each character that I made, someone can relate to. All three of them are based off of myself, so they're really easy to write since I embody all of them. And it's really amazing to see that already by the people who have read it, that it's already touching them, and they're already falling in love with these characters that they can either like really relate to, or whatever it may be. It is truly my goal, is to be someone's escape from reality, even though it kind of teaches you lessons about your life as well, or something you can relate to. So even though this series is like extremely goofy and funny, there is a giant overarching theme to it.
That's the fun of goofy and funny, is the fact that when you can actually put that into it, because everybody always thinks that goofy and funny is just goofy and funny, but I find that a lot of the best lessons you learn are from goofy and funny.
Yeah, absolutely, because then you're enjoying learning. Right? Exactly. You're invested in these characters. One of the biggest topics is, how do you talk to people? How do you communicate with people?
Still figuring that out.
Right, exactly.
I'm going to say that, yeah.
Things are uncomfortable to talk about. And like some things, when it comes to relationships, have you ever been in a relationship and your girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever is like, I'm so ugly, and you're like, what are you talking about? Like you can't even fathom someone thinking something like that, but that's how they feel, right? So it really gets into those topics of like, you cannot love anyone before you love yourself. You need to have self-respect. You need to have self-value, self-care, and so that you can take care of people who you want to take care of, right? So that's definitely another value that goes into the romance, because I never really see that in romance. Yeah. I just see, just bad communication, breakup, and I hate you.
Okay. Yeah, I never understand the bad communication. It's like, if you guys just took like 20 seconds to just talk to each other, we would not have this whole story. Like, why does this have to happen?
Yeah, exactly. But it kind of dives into that a little deeper, of it's not lazy writing. It is thoroughly thought out, to where there is a reason why Rain doesn't want to talk about his problems. And I don't tell you, but from like the first chapter, based on that self-worth and so on and so forth, what the problem is. So it's never really a question to the audience of, do they know or do they not know? Some people in the audience might have different opinions of what it may be, but it is pretty clear. I try to make that pretty clear, to try to make it as relatable to the audience and the viewer as possible. So yeah, have good communication. You're adults. Come on now.
Talk it out. Just talk it out. Use your words.
Exactly. Like, don't abandon each other for 7 years. Wouldn't that be stupid?
People do it all the time.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, no, it's really important that I was able to kind of touch on the topic of the more overarching lesson I'm trying to get across of clever storytelling and world building of the reality in the make-believe fantasy world. So yeah.
I gotta say, Jedi is all over the place here.
Oh my goodness.
Jedi always loves saying hi.
Hey,
That is a miniature
Hi.
bear. That's what that is.
He is so cute.
Miniature bear.
Baby.
Oh,
Amazing. What a glorious creature.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but I completely understand where you're coming from. Maybe that's the sign of good writing, though, because you're actually working all this in with each other, instead of just making it about one thing or being superficial about what you're doing.
Or it's like when you can teach someone a lesson with your story without them feeling like they're being lectured, that is like the best thing ever.
Yes, absolutely. It's supposed to be relatable, not lecturing.
Exactly.
Definitely, for sure, because that's how we learn the most, right?
Yep.
Especially with gratitude, right? Because there's some moments in this book where you're like, man, I got it good. I got it real good, especially when we get into Dan. So Dan definitely might be super goofy, but my God, can he humble somebody? Some people just need to be humbled a little bit. Like, girl, just be grateful. Have you tried that? So that's definitely a big lesson. I think a lot of adults nowadays need to learn, and I really strive to have that in my book.
And that's important, and I think you're doing a good job with it. And I can tell by how much difficulty you have talking about it that you've crafted this story, and you're trying not to reveal too much but I think you've done a good job at explaining exactly what you're doing.
Well, that's good. That's great.
Which is a good sign, because sometimes us writers especially have a trouble trying to get the concept of the story out without revealing too much, because that's
especially when you're just starting up and like everything you say could potentially be a spoiler because like nothing's been established yet. It's like incredibly hard to pitch something.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of just go back to trying to explain it without spoiling kind of the plot of it and whatever. I kind of just channel back to when I was first creating it. What do I want this story to be about? So I kind of just talk about how I used to talk about it when I didn't know much about the series, but I knew exactly what my mission was. It's very representative within the art as well. Some things I don't need to explain. I'm not going to hold your hand, right? Again, this is for adults. I don't need to hold your hand. You can figure this stuff out. And I'm going to let the audience figure it out because they can. You guys are smart. And that's also a part of the fun, right? Is solving the mystery mentally and with what is really happening here. So yeah, no, that's super cool.
That's also important because you want to be able to sit there, read something, and have many levels into it.
There are a lot of levels, definitely. I think each of them do have their own problems and their own struggles. I think Rain, I can say this because I'm like picking around in my head. What can I say? Rain really Rain of Shadows is more like that dark insecurity you kind of always have, or some people have, right? It's a very specific one, but It's one that a lot of people have, right? Especially one that I think men don't really talk about, being, body image, right? A little bit lonely about it, or being just an introvert, right? So that really comes through in Rain the most. And so he's kind of like that darker side of my brain. Aaron Lionheart he's like a golden retriever. He's like a golden retriever puppy, really. He represents the side of me that is wanting to help people. He's a knight, and all he wants is to help people and to save people, but he wants to be special. And it's hard to be special when you're always tripping on the same rock. And it's hard to be special when you're always making hamsters explode. you know, Dan represents my humor. He's comedic relief. He represents c'est la vie. I'm sure that's like the best way I can describe Dan is c'est la vie. Like, just, it is what it is. Anyway, maybe a little too much.
No. You did good. You did good. You didn't reveal too much.
You didn't reveal too much, no.
But yeah, no, I kind of just, since I was showing the concept art, I thought it would be, you know, a good idea to kind of share more in-depth detail about who these characters are, even though you don't really know their mission. I mean, you kind of do because they have to save the prince and stuff. But, you know, there's a lot of detail missing because I can't say it. This is really hard.
Oh, it definitely is. It always is. It's always really hard.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
We've had that conversation with that person that says, I don't want to tell you a lot, but, and then 20 minutes later, they've told you up to like issue 7.
Yeah.
It all started when I was born.
So you're fine. You're not that, so you're fine.
Awesome. Yeah, there's also some terms that I use in this book because, you know, I have only played like one game of D&D in my entire life, as well as Baldur's Gate 3.
Me too.
So
Me too. Only once. And it's
Right?
on video.
We need to fix that.
I know. I really do need, I have like so much stuff I want to do, but you know, I'm also a businesswoman. You know, I'm about to go to Terrificon. I have merch. I know how to sell and I know how to do it very well. So I also am making sure that the series isn't too much D&D because some people don't like that. And I want to make sure that this is something that anyone can enjoy because some people like fantasy, but they're not really too much into the D&D. You don't even see dice in this world, you know?
Well, usually, you know, if you do it right, it has nothing to do with the dice.
Really? See, I know nothing about it.
Yeah, I mean, usually it just feels like a campaign.
Exactly.
The one time I played D&D was with Ralph and it was on video, but like I don't know anything about it, but like I play a lot of like RPGs and a lot of it was similar.
Yeah, it prepares you for it really well.
I go to the end. Oh, okay, I understand that. Oh, okay.
If you're playing D&D well, like dice are a part of it, but they're a tool. The real part about the game is that and that collaborative storytelling. That's the game.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Dice just help you get the chance
results.
The desire.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm learning so much. That's great. That's awesome.
You're actually doing it the right way because you're pretty much what you're doing is explaining a campaign that happened, and you're not trying to explain how the dice went.
I mean, even though it's kind of predictable.
It kind of sounds like you already explained it. Oh, he rolled a 1 on that attack. He rolled a 1 on that.
Yeah.
He exploded a hamster.
Exactly.
He rolled lots of 1.
you wrote a 1, but it ended up being a 10 because this is stupid. this is a dumb series. It's like stupid. But yeah, no, I mean, some terminology I use, like, you know how. And a lot of fantasy, this isn't just in D&D, but a lot of fantasy, this is just from my experience. Typically in fantasy, they say when they're like, oh my God, they don't say God, they say gods with an S. Yeah. And for some reason, for me, it always takes me out of the story a little bit. It kind of brings me back to reality just because I'm just not used to that kind of terminology. So a lot of pop culture and just regular words, I'm very much implementing. I go very much back and forth between classy talk and especially with Rain. Rain does a lot of that because he's a wizard, but I go a lot back and forth between that and like stupid Gen Z terminology. So it's a really funny balance between 1 minute they're talking like this and then the other they're saying a bunch of swear words and making inappropriate jokes. So it's exciting.
We can tell. We can see the passion that you have for this.
Yeah. I just hope that someone or some people or people, oh my gosh, people will just enjoy these characters as much as I do, because I was not expecting to like them this much. I really wasn't. This was originally like supposed to be like, oh, you know, just a concept. But I was actually, when I was an animator, I kind of took that idea I had for an animation that I had. It had nothing to do with fantasy. It was actually took place in like the 70s. And I took that idea, I took the characters out of it, and I really just placed them in a fantasy setting. So it's been through a lot. And I'm just very grateful for the opportunity that I get to come on here and share about it. And I'm grateful that, you know, people so far are really interested in it. And I'm very much looking forward, and I'm confident in my product, and I'm confident that people will like it when it's finally released, whenever that will be, because I'm the only person working on it.
So Ava, one more time, tell them where they can find you.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. So you can find me on Instagram, and pretty much all social media is my handle, Ava_Schrager. That's SCHRAGER, because everyone forgets the C. But yeah, no, I will post updates not soon at all. So if you're interested in other works by me, then give me a follow on Instagram.
Folks, even if you're paying attention to her other stuff, it is a lot of beautiful stuff. I only showed you like a smidge of all the great stuff she does. Check out her Instagram. She has a lot of great stuff there.
Thank you. Woo-hoo.
Herman, let's go back over here and tell the people one more time where they can find you and all that good stuff again.
Well, thank you again for having us on tonight. But our website, it's Getting Dicey. Our Instagram is it's_getting_dicey, and our Facebook is It's Getting Dicey. So we had to do those underscores for Instagram. But check us out on our website. Come see us at Terrificon or any of the many, many events that we're going to be coming up to this year, including a Ren Fair in Shenango County in 2 weeks.
Nice.
We'll be at Rhode Island Comic Con later this year, Saratoga Comic Con, just to name a few. So come see us in person. Come pet Jedi.
Yes, and you have to pet Jedi. He's really soft.
Oh my goodness.
He is.
And folks, these guys have some quality stuff. Go check out. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make it easier for you folks to go check out the stuff, because I'm gonna take the website here and I'm gonna put it in the comment section, so I don't have to hear. But Ralph, I don't want to go. I'm lazy. I don't want to do and go check it out and find it.
I lost it. I forgot.
There you go. And you know what? I'm going to put Ava in there too, so it makes life easier. And you can go, hey, Ralph, I like her, but I didn't want to go all the way to Instagram. I'm lazy. There. Everything's in the comment section. Go.
Perfect.
We like convenience here.
Exactly.
Should I do a voice too? As a matter like, hey man, what you doing, man? You got to put the link down.
Herman, I have to ask you. I know they released all this stuff about what's coming out with the new player's guide and all this and that. What are your thoughts so far?
So the early leaks and kind of show on YouTube, etc. Some of the great people, D&D shorts, Dungeon Dudes, and a few others have kind of showed off quite a bit of good stuff about it.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the things seem positive. There's a couple of things that are a little difficult necessarily, but the backwards compatibility looks good. It's just an updated form of 5th edition, which is, I think, a good direction for them. The book itself has some amazing art that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
It like top notch. Every page seems to have some great piece on it. And then the classes, I think they've done a good job with this. I'm optimistic, especially we'll see the Dungeon Master's Guide come out in a few months, and then the Monsters Manual early next year. So right now, all we're seeing is the early access to the Player's Guide. I believe it comes out the middle of September for the majority of people to get their hands on it.
Right.
They sold like 3,000 copies at Gen Con.
Wow.
But it looks really good. I am excited for it. I think we'll see some great stuff happening going forward as well, taking a lot of the core concepts that they're changing to really enhance play. And for people who have been playing for a long time, they've actually upped the power level of all the characters, which is amazing as well.
I'm happy you said that, because I kept getting the feeling, from all the stuff I've been seeing and reading, that it's gotten better for new players. But it almost started to feel like they were like kind of like for us older players doing our things. It was kind of like we were kind of forgotten.
Yeah, so it's really good for newer players to come into D&D, as well as like the older players. You get your same character, but just ratchet it up just a little bit. So power level across the board has been increased just a little bit. Everybody except maybe Ranger, that's debatable. Got some interesting tweaks, but almost everything else has just been more powerful and more fun to play at the table. So I'm liking what I see so far.
That's good. Because I've been dying to talk about it, but it's right now it's so, up in the air that it's just us doing oh, I think this and I think
yeah, it's speculation. It's like
exactly.
Oh, maybe this will happen.
Exactly.
But the book is out in the wild. 3,000 copies were sold, plus a lot of people that I mentioned, as well as other D&D YouTubers, have had copies.
Cool.
So it's out in the wild. It's the final version. We just need to get our hands on it so we can take a look at it ourselves.
I can't wait to see what it is. I'm not sure if I'll buy it right away, but I can't wait to see what it is.
Yeah,
well, I
am. Like, I'll get maybe a used copy or wait for a sale. I'm broke.
I know, Herman, you're probably gonna get it right away.
Getting it right away, getting the D&D Beyond version right away. We might have to start a campaign so you can see it.
That'd be the best way to do it. Yeah, that's always the best way. I know that for a while, until I played 5 directly, I was like, because 4 really, the edition that nobody talks about, 4 really threw me completely off, and I stayed at 3 and 3.5 for a long time.
See, a lot of people give hate to 4, and there's nothing like everybody each their own. But there was some good concepts in 4 that just weren't fleshed out as well as they should have been. And I think 5th edition,
because they fleshed out 4.
Yeah, the 5th edition takes aspects of 4, takes aspects of 3 and 3.5, and kind of puts them together. Whereas 4 was very, very anime, isekai, like very anime.
Yeah.
Very another world, of course. And 3.5 was very gritty and math heavy. And then you kind of marry the two and you get 5th edition, and it's good.
Do you think that's, and I've been meaning to ask this because I've seen that it's like easing into anime. Every time we do the shows now, we go to the conventions, you see a lot of anime people, or we'll see a lot of D&D in anime shows, anime conventions. Do you think that's what it is?
I don't necessarily think that it's from like 4th edition and 5th edition, like having a lot of anime influence, although there is that. I think that a lot of the people who like anime just also happen to like exploring worlds collaboratively, and that's what D&D is. So whether or not it's the straight fantasy setting, or you can take D&D and run a campaign in space. You can take Starfinder, which is Pathfinder, but in space with laser guns, and basically do Star Wars. There's Star Wars a role-playing game. There's so many different role-playing games. D&D is just the most well-known, but it's still super versatile to be able to play in a lot of these other things. And there is anime versions of 5th edition. In fact, D&D Shorts has an amazing book that he kickstarted a little while ago that's coming out that's all about kaiju in D&D.
Oh yeah, a couple of us supported that one. A couple of us are waiting for that one to show. Because that looks fantastic.
If you ever watched the anime Goblin Slayer, like it's the intro song, if you listen to the full version, they're singing in English, but it's a little hard to understand because it's Japanese with an accent. But if you go online and you read the full lyrics, the song is about a D&D game, like completely. It talks about rolling dice and chances and winning the game. It's pretty cool.
Because we've had this conversation a couple times. Now that we're going to conventions, we were constantly going, okay, so I can see that there's a some kind of cross of D&D and anime. And I figured that's what it was, as well as the fact that the fantasy aspect of things, and it just lends itself to each other really well.
Also, playing RPGs, anime,
exactly.
Like, D&D being the next step in that. It's all connected.
That Dungeons and Dragons cartoon is basically an isekai. That's basically what it is.
That's true. That's completely true. So, folks, Terrificon this weekend, we are going to Terrificon, and we're going to be hanging out with these two beautiful people here. as well as other people that we're going to be going to hang out with over there. And if you guys haven't been to Terrificon, you should go. It's in Mohegan Sun, so if you know, it's not completely your thing, you still have the whole casino to check out. And I gotta say, our friend here always does a terrific job with his videos. Let me see. Here, Terrificon.
Before we get started, does anybody need tickets to Terrificon?
Visit Terrificon.com for all your Terrificon needs. Going
Love
up?
it.
Of course.
Meanwhile, here Terrificon.
Dude, this is just fantastic. I can't believe he always does a great job with these videos. I think one of my favorite ones was a couple of years ago when the Peacemaker show was on. He did this whole Peacemaker thing and with everybody dancing.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, it was
I
fantastic.
remember that. That was awesome.
That's Mitch Halleck himself, right? Yeah, he does a great job.
Yeah, he always does a great job with the videos. It's always fun to see. And of course, folks, that's why Terrificon is so much fun, because he has a passionate view of all the Terrificon stuff. And hey, if you guys are up to Mohegan Sun, check out Terrificon and check out Herman and Ava and all the other beautiful vendors that we actually know that are going to be there. We're going to be there Friday, so if you see me, say hi, and maybe you put you in the trailer. Sorcier, it's your turn. Go for it.
Oh man, I thought I was off the hook. I've got a comic coming up on Kickstarter, maybe towards the end of August, maybe beginning of September. Let's see where life takes me here. It's issues 1 through 3 of The Misadventures of Buddy and Friend, which is a cute fantasy comedy that feels like a D&D campaign where everyone rolls a 1. It's about a bumbling bounty hunter with oh man, I'm so tired. I've had a weekend. It's about a bumbling bounty hunter trying to help a barbarian with a heart of gold save the world from a demon invasion. Unfortunately, they're kind of bad at what they do, so they end up killing off more people than the demons by accident. So that's the whole thing. Yeah, it's just good, fun, chaotic energy. If you're tired of things being like super grim dark and you need a pick-me-up, like this is the comic for you.
I gotta say, I love Buddy and Friends. I've been waiting for this third issue. You know,
long overdue.
But Mata does everything herself, so
yeah, I do the writing, the art, the everything, even the lettering, which I definitely hate. But yeah, it's a labor of love. It's a fun story. Also, this third issue is fun because you get to meet the third party member, which is Wizard, where you know it's up for debate, but he's got the hat.
You gotta love it.
That's all you need for a wizard, right? Just the hat.
You need a hat and a knife, right?
Yeah. Maybe a staff.
Who's your favorite character?
Honestly, the main character, Buddy, because he's just sort of this like true neutral. I'm just gonna get things done however they get done type character, and like he gets so much shit from everybody, and I'm like, I kind of relate to that. Like sometimes he tries to be heroic, and then it just like kind of blows up in his face, and he's like, "All right, I'm never doing that again." And like, yeah, you know, you live, you learn, you make your mistakes, you keep going.
Awesome. Also, you're like a trooper for doing the lettering, because like I could never. Oh my god, ew. So like, good job.
Thank you. You know, the funny thing is, I do another comic called Sacrimony, which is like a fantasy drama, and I do the lettering, and I don't hate it as much because I don't have to do as many sound effects because it's more serious.
Yeah.
But with Buddy and Friend, like it's more cartoony, it's more over the top, so you have to like, sit there googling like what is an onomatopoeia for like stabbing or whatever, and then you have to like
Yeah.
find a way to visually present that, and
Yeah.
it's just horrible, but I do it anyway because I love the story and it needs the sound effects. Otherwise, it just doesn't work as well.
All right,
That's awesome.
Madam, while you're up there, go ahead and talk to us about our Indie Comics Expo.
Yes, my comics partner in crime, John Westhoff, is starting a small indie comics expo in Chicago. He's done one a couple of years ago and it was like really successful, and he's trying to pick that up again and make it a regular thing because like we need smaller like indie comic cons and stuff. Like there's a lot of everyone being like, all right, here's this huge con, here's all the celebrities and stuff, and he's kind of sitting here like, well, what about the little guy? Like give us some love too. So basically this Kickstarter here is to pre-order tickets, and also you can just back, I think, as a donation to get the con going. And like the donation with that, you'll get like some free comics from him and some of his friends and stuff. They have like a cool little indie comics bundle. And I mean, just make it happen. Like if you want a smaller, more intimate con scene that's not just about like celebrity signings and all of that stuff, and you really want to like meet creators and talk to them and like get sage advice or just even, see what local indie people in Chicago are doing. Like it's definitely a cool thing to get started up. And also it's in a concert hall. So some of the indie comic creators are also musicians. So they'll be doing a concert, which is pretty cool. I think there's like 3 different people performing. It's a super small con in terms of like how many tables there are. So it's like, I think he said about 16 to 18 vendors. So like,
that's what I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a really nice, like cool small setting where you can like, stand next to your favorite new creator and just like talk to them all day and just, get advice, see what's going on. It sounds like a good time. I love the smaller cons personally. Like I get like so much sensory overload with like the giant cons. So
yes.
This is a cool thing for him to be starting up. And I hope that more people will follow suit and like open up more smaller cons.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, because everybody wants to start with the bigger cons. I'm like, no, start with the smaller cons.
Oh my god, they're so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like why? Like if you're just starting up, like why are you going to pay $500 for a table? Then you have to pay for your merch and stuff, and then you have like 3 prints and like 2 pins, and you're just sitting there like, this was a bad idea. Like go for the smaller cons. Always go for the smaller ones. Start small, baby steps.
You were going to say, Herman?
You ain't kidding about how expensive they are. And you're right, in the small indie kind of space, it has less direct competition as well. So you'll be able to showcase your stuff a little bit easier. Once you get to the bigger guys, it gets a little harder to stand out.
Yeah, I mean, I've sold more books at small indie cons than I have at like larger events because it's just like, people can actually like, it's a smaller space. There's not as much to see. So people don't feel pressured to like keep moving, see what's next. Like they'll stop, they'll talk to you. You can do your little spiel. And then, they'll also, it's cheaper. So they'll actually have money to buy your book because like, sometimes when you're paying like $100 for a weekend, you're just like, I paid money to walk around this con. I cannot afford that $24 hot dog. Oh, it's, $10 extra for a large Coke.
Yeah.
$5 for a bag of chips that should cost me like 25 cents. So I mean it's cheaper. There's more time. It's more relaxed. It's more chill. So like when I've done large cons, people are just like walk right by because it's just like they're looking for their favorite artist that they know is going to be at a certain spot. There's like lots of ground to cover. Like it's chaos. I love small cons.
Definitely. Our friend Phil Russert has his book Arcane Syndicate out there. And, it's the classic monsters in one book here. So, right away that catches my interest. He has it on Notify Folks. And like we like to say here, just like Matt's book, it's on sign up to get notified. The more people sign up to get notified, the more followers she has before the convention starts. Before the book starts, before the Kickstarter starts, the better it is for everybody because, the more followers you have on your Kickstarter, the better you are put into the algorithm when it starts.
Yeah, and then you get like a stronger launch, and then like Kickstarter notices you more and kind of keeps promoting you like when you get a stronger start. Like the first 48 hours of a campaign are like the most important And then after that, it's whatever. But like, if you can get at least like halfway to the goal within like the first 48 hours, like Kickstarter's like, okay, this is a project that people are really interested in. So like, I'll keep promoting it and, you know, see how it does.
Completely. Completely agree there.
Yeah. It's tough.
It is.
It's
It's
tiring.
really
I'm
tough.
tired just talking about it.
Yeah, folks, this whole thing is a lot of work, and you know, you should support all your people as much as possible. Your artists, your vendors, your, you know, dude. Why do we spend so much money on all the other guys, you know, Apple and all those, you know, when we can like hang out with the people we know and help them out?
Yeah, right? Like, come on. Also, the notify me on launch. It's free. Just hit the button. Like, even if you're like, I don't know if I want this, like, hit the button. It helps out. It also signals to other people who are on the fence, like, oh, hey, you know, they've got, you know, 67 followers. Like, that's cool. Maybe I should follow and see what's going on, too.
I agree.
It's all about the street cred. The more followers, the more street cred.
Yep. Completely. I think that is everything. I
should send you Worse Than Mayhem also, even though they're going to be
that's
on
right,
next
yeah.
week. How dare I
What
not?
I'm waiting for her to send that here is Kimmy Cosmic. It is from one of our friends that we met at Brooklyn Comic Con a while ago. And you know what? I'll play the video and give Matta a chance to find it.
No, I've done it already, but you can play the video anyway because that looks really cute.
Here we go.
Kimmy Cosmic is a graphic novel series about a space cowboy who has to unravel the mystery of her half-human heritage to prevent a sinister corporation from destroying her people. Kimmy Cosmic is a science fantasy epic created for readers of all ages.
Kimmy Cosmic. I didn't create this book. It's so good, I wish I had.
Kimmy Cosmic is such a nice palate cleanser. It's one of those children books that you can read as an adult and fully enjoy.
Black girl in space with pink afro puffs. Like, did they just... Come on.
It's like a sci-fi western, which is really fun. It's comedic. It's just like a lot of fun, and has some stuff about her coming of age and figuring out her identity and her past. Her mom was a Black woman from Earth, and her dad was an alien. So really interesting setup.
Immediately sold.
For something new to read, then it's time to pick up your copy of Kimmy Cosmic. I highly recommend grabbing your copy of Volume 1 at earthtoneking.com.
There you have it, folks. It's pretty cool. I liked it when I first saw it at Brooklyn Comic Con, and I think we should have him on the show soon.
Oh, fun.
I am not. I think it's maybe next week or the week after. I am not sure, but I'll let you know. I see Sorcier for the thing here. Here we go. Go ahead, Sorcier. Talk.
So Worse Than Mayhem is that sort of funny D&D adventure gone wrong type story where the two main characters, Worst and Mayhem, they originally started off in a tavern brawl, destroyed the tavern, and then they have to work together to pay back the tavern owner for all of the damages. So the plot twist, the tavern owner was a genie who cursed them to have to work together. So it's just like, it's very violent, but in a funny way. There's lots of cursing, and yeah, it's just, if you like that sort of like incompetent party who kind of sort of hate each other, but they're working together anyway, like this is definitely up your alley. Also, someone may or may not have done a cover for this book. If you scroll down.
I'm scrolling.
Keep that Kickstarter scrolling.
Oh, book looks good.
Yeah, John's art style is so great. It's so expressive, and yeah, he's so good.
Yeah, nice color.
Yeah, Ryan Kroboth did the colors, so I think both John and Ryan are going to be on next week.
Shading too, like it goes from one color to another. Nice.
And that's a cover that I did for the book. So, you know, stop on by, pick up the cover, boost my ego a little. Also, just check out the story. I drew a lot of skulls there. I drew a lot of skulls for my buddy and friend cover, so I guess that's just my vibe right now. But yeah, it's a fun book. It's a great story. It's a fun ride. Like, I highly recommend it. Check it out. Also, their packaging is really great. I didn't get to like take a picture or anything, but it's like he sent like a box and it had like when you open it, there was a D20 like taped on the inside. It's like a roll Constitution saving throw on a sign there, and like they had like the comic and like a little letter to the reader was like sealed inside of an envelope with like a wax seal on it. I was like, man, these guys put more work than I would ever put into mailing out a comic. It was just great. It was literally the whole package. So like just buying a physical comic from them is like such a great experience.
It sounds like it. They had me at D&D, and they're going to be here next week, Monday.
Yep, they will be.
To talk all about their book, and I'm going to pick their brains.
Excellent. Pick away. They're such sweet people too. Like both of them are just like absolute sweethearts.
And since we're talking D&D and all that stuff, if you're looking for a gateway, an entry, an amazing thing, because Omnivore Games does an amazing job, and this is like an entry level type of D&D, so your kids and your adults, because it's really cute, can check it out and form the whole thing. Omnivore does a great job with their games, so go check it out.
Yeah, I could see me playing that with like my like 40-year-old friends easily.
Exactly,
like this is not just for children.
I need that.
So cute.
Right? It's adorable.
I need that. That's on Ava level right there, and that's like on my level of understanding.
And I think one of the things I love about Omnivore is it's deeper. It's always a deeper thing, and because he likes to work on the aspect of game where, because role playing is a great way to deal with things. It's a great way to and I know that we've all seen it. Somebody will come in with a character concept and they're actually working through something. It's almost like therapy.
Also, lots of conflict resolution skills being built with these games.
Exactly.
I feel like even when I started when I was in my like late 20s, which was like 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago actually, is when I started in 2014. But it was just like, even I had no idea about some conflict resolution skills, and I learned a lot from playing D&D.
Oh, definitely. The D&D helped me out a whole lot. And one last thing, because he's here next week, our friend from Jane American is coming next week, and he will be showing off. Actually, this thing kicks off tomorrow. The Kickstarter kicks off tomorrow, and if it's a beautiful little love letter to the classic American type of superhero comics, but at the same time, it's not a superhero comic, and it's really nice. Just check it out. And he'll be here next week to talk about it himself, so you don't have to take my word for it.
Excellent. Also, 141 followers. That's really great.
Yeah, that's decent. See the folks? That's what I'm talking about right there. That's a great start.
That's some good street cred right there.
Yeah. Anything else, guys, before we go?
Chicken? Possibly.
Nuggets?
I wish.
Dino shaped? Oh my gosh. Speaking of, I have to tell this story because I can't not tell this story, okay?
Go for it.
So it takes like 2 seconds because now we're talking about chicken nuggets. So my mom went to somewhere, and then when she looked in the Airbnb, like, this was down in like Key West, Florida. She was in an Airbnb, and she opened the oven, and there was a fossilized, burnt chicken nugget, like dino nugget, and it was like the T-Rex, and it was like fossilized. And she turned to my sister and her friends, and she was like, Ava's gonna love this. And they're just like looking at her like she's crazy. So she packed it up and she gave it to me, and it's framed on my wall, just this fossilized pitch black chicken, dinosaur T-Rex chicken nugget, just on.
Amazing.
That's what I call
it. Yeah. So that's probably one of the best gifts I've ever gotten. And I was like, oh my god, Mom, I'm 21 and you finally understand me. But I'm sorry, we had to end on that note.
That was a good note to end on.
I see Mr. Nathan has joined us over here. Hello, Nathan.
Hello.
Hello.
Did we forget anything, Nathan?
Not in particular. I mean, there's a couple of our friends who are actually doing fairly well on Kickstarter. Pat Shand, as usual. I believe Bloodshot also has a book going on right now as well. Friends at Bad Bugs got a couple of actually they got 5 right now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, Bad Bug is always busy.
Yeah.
Same thing with Pat Shand. He's always busy.
Yeah, if
Remember
they're
when
not
both of
running
them
at
only
least
had,
like
like,
3
one book?
Kickstarters at a time, then something is wrong in
Something's
the
wrong.
universe.
Cat Calamia has a new one out too. So
Like
She only
new
got-
or because I know
She only got
that
one.
one just wrapped up, but I don't know if there's
no, there's another one.
Okay.
Cat's always busy with a Kickstarter. You know Cat.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
my God.
aside from that, Anime NYC next week.
That's right. And we will be at Anime NYC next weekend, hanging fun, checking out things. And next week we will have a couple of Anime NYC vendors here, so we can do some Anime NYC show before Anime NYC.
If I took a drink for every time you said Anime NYC, I'd be on the floor.
Well, you should come with us to Anime NYC. We got some extra passes.
Matt, are you coming?
I have like a birthday to attend every
Oh,
weekend.
come on,
You
it's
have a
Friday,
birthday
Saturday,
every
Monday,
year, but how
birthday.
often do you have an anime convention?
No, not my birthday, other people's birthdays.
That's what I'm saying. How many other people's birthdays are there? Just think about it.
A lot.
365 days a year, and there's a birthday on each one of them. How
And the
many
funny
times?
thing is, everyone I know is clustered between like the beginning
Oh,
of
that's right. We
August
had this
to, like,
discussion. Yeah.
yeah, until the end of October.
Well, you know what's so funny? Like every year, there's this girl I know. Like I would miss her birthday every year because Liberty City. This was a convention that went away. It was that week every single time,
Yeah.
and then it finally went away. You know, COVID happened, and then last year I got to go to birthday like nothing. Don't you know? Anime NYC took that same exact thing. Liberty City. So, I'm like,
Wow.
oh. So here we go again.
So, you see, Ma, you just need to come with us and Tony.
Yeah.
Don't worry about people.
No pressure, Mata, but,
They'll
you
have
know.
another birthday next year.
You got 3 days to go.
I just go to panels, so I don't spend anything.
All right, guys. I think that is everything. We've had a blast here at Apple Bites, and check us out at Terrificon this weekend, Anime NYC next weekend, and I think we're busy for the next 2 months.
Oof.
Yep. Every weekend there's another con this year.
Well, there you have it, folks. On this show, we ended like this. Wait. We ended.
So says Moo.
I don't know. You figure pressing buttons is